Yeah, guys, we are going to chapter number 7, Understanding Marginalization. In this chapter, we learn marginalizations, Adivasis, marginalizations of minorities, marginalization of women, and their conclusions. We have learned about various aspects of the law and justice. We have also studied about the government and its role in the democracy, where in it is supposed to provide not only justice against crime but even social justice. In this chapter, we shall see how certain sections of the society got left behind the marginalization. Yeah, guys, what is marginalization? Take your notebook and look at the margins. Okay, they are near or on the edges. The word margins means edges and marginalization means driving, forcing or living on the edges or the fringe of society. If you ever visit a remote village in India, you would normally find a small hamlet on the one of side on one of the side, the village where the poorest of the poor people are forced to live outside to main village and outcast of town rudens. Okay, in some places they are compelled to have a separate places of worship, separate sources of water are shunned by the societies and untouchables or looked down upon. They are sometimes ill treated, beaten up by the upper caste and the rich and the powerful for small reasons. They being e- economically weak rarely have land holdings or property and survive on the mercy of affluent villagers who sometimes exploit them like slaves for small or negligible payments, either in terms of money or food. Okay, in our country there are groups of people who have not got the same share of development, education, growth and employment opportunities, leading them to be left behind as compared the other citizens of the nations. At sometimes people are marginalized because they speak different language, follow different customs or belong a religious groups which differ from the majority. Marginalization at the individual levels result in individuals' exclusions from meaningful participation in the society. Economic, cultural, social and political factors work together make certain groups in the society and marginalized. When a person is outcast or separates from the marginal mainstreams, okay, of society, it is bound to bring resentments in the persons. Okay, in this chapter we shall limit ourselves or two categories of people who have been socially marginalized in India: Adivasis and minorities communities. Yeah, guys, Adivasis. The Hindi word Adivasis is formed by the combining of words Adi from old times, like from Adi Kal, and Vasis means inhabitants. Adivasis literally means the indigenous people or original inhabitants. Okay, to understand it better, they are the people who did not get the same opportunities of the education, development, and growth as they lived in difficult terrains and therefore continued with their traditional customs and religious beliefs. Okay, they got neglected and marginalized over a period and got left behind as compared to the population of development parts of the country. The government carried out a study of those people or groups who had thus got marginalized If then listed these in the notification as scheduled tribes, this was done so that necessary steps could be taken to lift their standards of living and due developmental opportunities can be offered to them. Okay, Adivasis do not come under any caste, hereditary, and they have their own distinct social, cultural, and economic practice. They are regarded as primitive and live in hills and forests, are dependent on their surrounding natural resources for everything. They are not regarded as unclean by the society, but they continue to face prejudice as lesser humans and are distant socially. There are over 94 million Adivasis in about 500 different tribes in India and constitute about 8.5% of the Indian population according to the 2001 census. A majority of them fall under the poverty line. They have the lowest level of the literacy. The Adivasis are found all over, but the largest concentration is in Madhya Pradesh, okay, Orissa, Jharkhand, northern Andhra Pradesh, and northern eastern states of India. Yes, religious practice. The Adivasis have continued to believe in their own religious belief from Easter years, and their religious practice are different from those Hinduism, Christianity, or Islam. Since they live close to nature, they worship the forest of nature, which they believe are more strong and they have no control over them. Thus, in their societies, they generally believed in a spirit of rain, fire, forest, river, and ancestors. 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 Okay, they have their own local and village deities and respect and pray to them. They usually worship the spirit of nature at sacred places within the village and the rest of worshipped at home. Gradually, as some of them migrated and came in touch with the outside worldly world, they have imbibed some religious practice from the modern religious Buddhism, Vaishnava, Shakti, Hindustan, Christianity, etc. The modern society living close to Adivasis belt have influence from the Adivasis culture today. Okay, example Bengal and Assam culture has many believers in Shakti and Tantric procedures. Many Adivasis had adopted Christianity as their religions and thus this is emerging as a major religious beliefs in Adivasis dominated areas. Yeah guys, languages. The Adivasis have their own languages, different form of mainstreams languages. Some of them are as old Sanskrit. They have also influenced the formation of many Indians mainstreams languages. Okay, and commonality of words are found in Bengali and some other languages. Santhali is the major tribal language is spoken by the majority of Adivasis. Dress and culture. The Adivasis lived close to nature. They never had access to new generation fabrics and dresses. They traditionally adorn themselves with skin, feathers, leaves, flowers, etc. They occasionally wear bright, colorful headgears and stone and metal jewelries. Okay, their sense of entertainment was limited in simple musical instruments and group dance. Their dance normally had the turn of celebrating seasons, hunting, cropping, and such occasions. Okay, therefore, including stakes, sickles, arrows, spears, etc., painting of faces and body, piercing jewelries, and commonly seen in their festivals. In the modern arena, whenever we wish to depict our rich heritage, these tribes are showcased in these attire and gives a feeling to the viewers of they have continued to live in primitive lifestyle and have chosen not to adopt a modern lifestyle, this creates a perceptions about them amongst the rest of the people, and they tend look down upon the tribesmen and backwards and down trouble. Okay, we need to ensure that they get all modern facilities and development consonance with the rest of the nation with the freedom to preserve their culture and heritage. So guys, Adivasis and their developments. Adivasis were originally settled in the hinterland. Okay, they have been living there for ages, and the kings and rulers of earlier times during their hunting and other voyages, okay, used to look after them and ask about their welfare and give them rules. At times, they used to seek their assistance to locate life-saving herbs and such natural procedure. Okay, these people were mostly living in nomads and hunter gatherers with no permanent settlement in the earlier times. Slowly, they settled down in areas rich in natural resources. During the colonial periods, the British started exploiting the natural resources of India, and some of their exploration lead them to reach the Adivasis areas. Okay, and they removed their settlement so as to take away the timber and other resources from those areas. They also forced Adivasis to work as slaves and laborers or workers in these areas on plantations and other activities. In the post independence era, the Indian government took on the various aspects of development, which including extracting natural resources by mining and then processing them by various industrial processes. All these has affected the life and dwelling of Adivasis. Let us see the various activities and the effects of Adivasis populations. Yeah guys, first one is industrialization. States which are rich in natural resources like Orissa, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh have a large concentration of Adivasis dwelling. Okay, the various government and private industrial groups are interested in acquiring the industrial land of stabilizing industrial projects there. Okay, they are putting a lot of pressure on learning, luring them by promises of alternative jobs and compensations. Many a time the land is taken away by coercion and unlawful procedures in conveyance with local leaders. Also, there are large number of cases of promises of compensations and jobs of restless not being met. Yeah guys, buildings of dams are river and water channels have been a major causes of discontentment among the Adivasis as large areas fall into a reservoir which need removal of forest which are the lifeline of the Adivasis. Even in such projects there are many instances of displacement of Adivasis without adequate settlement measures. Okay. Yeah, guys, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Many areas have been reserved of conservation of wildlife, which has forced the eviction and through fear of the Adivasis who have been living there. Yeah, guys, effects on the Adivasis. The various activities have caused the following effect on their lives. They have lost their cultural identity. The family, traditions, and art and cultural heritage is lost. They face psychologically trauma. They have to now venture into never areas which are culturally and society is different and they are unable to fit into the environment. Their compulsion to seek employment in search of a livelihood is exploited by the city's dwellers who force them work at low wages and bad working conditions, which leads to unrest, sickness, malnutrition and poverty. Women have been pushed out of their land and compelled to take on jobs as maids and servants or construction workers to earn their living. The various developmental activities are requirement of the nations and inevitable for the growth of the country. However, these activities have stumbled over the lives and livelihood of the Adivasis who have been in those areas for ages. Yes, marginalization of minorities. Our constitution has recognized that there is a possibility of cultural, traditional, and social dominance of the majority community over the minority communities. It has therefore enshrined provisions of safeguard their interest. The Constitution has enacted laws which have given freedom to different minorities to continue enjoy the freedom to live by their religious and enjoy the freedom religious and cultural requirements. Okay, the minorities have been given all the rights and considered to be at par in the eyes of the law. In fact, criminal proceeding can be directed against anyone who discriminate or insult the dignity of any other persons or community. If you take a closer look at the government at the center and in the state, there has been fair representations of all communities which exemplifies that the governments and judiciary considers all citizens alike and gives them all the privileges to live and grow with the nation. Yes, marginalization of women. Marginalization of also occurs when any sections of the society is not given equal status of equal opportunities in growth. The reasons could be social and economic as compared to many European countries. In Indian societies, the women have also been deprived of equal opportunities of growth and development due to social trends from historic times. The women constitute nearly 50% of the population. Thus, they are not a minority in the classes sense as described in the previous section. Traditionally, there have been many aspects in which the girls and women have been deprived of equal education, opportunities of employment, etc. So much was traditional disparity that the women would eat only after the men have eaten their food. The girl child would get less food than the boys and so on. These social and cultural trends have brought about considerable sorry, marginalizations of women in India, which the government has been trying to rectify by promoting various schemes. Marginalization can be both actual or imagined. This could be done to unbalanced development or unequal distribution of national resources. Marginalization is not permanent. Marginalized communities at times want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness on the one hand and seek parity in access to rights, opportunities and development on the other. In this, there are cases of internal conflict which are restricted to their sorry restrictive to their own growth due to binding of cultural and traditions. Thus, things can be change a prioritizations is set right both by the communities and the government. Okay, I hope you understand what is in this chapter. This is your conclusion of this chapter.